everyone, this is Isaac, and this is Motivation Inspired. If you're here for the very first time, you've never checked out this channel, be sure you're checking this channel out by hitting the subscribe button. Make sure you like at the end of the video and comment. Today we're going to be talking about favor versus obligation. Coming up. In this video, we're going to be kicking it off with understanding favor versus obligation. Now, I always like to share a definition of each word. Yeah, so that way we can get through it and understand it better, right? Now, favor is an act of kindness beyond your usual duties or beyond what you're supposed to do. Now, I know favor goes a long ways, right? In my case, I won't do a favor unless I know the person. So not somebody randomly coming on and asking me about, can you do me a favor? Because I'm going to say no, right? So a favor for me consists of act of kindness, of more importantly, and to know the individual. I personally think, so if I know that person, then I more likely will be that to do the some of the examples of people asking favors. I'm going to use myself as an example. I have clients and I need to meet up with them, right? I'm in the office, I'm stuck. So I'm going to approach somebody who I can maybe assign, or hopefully they can help me out. So the way I approached it, and this is the first case scenario, I asked this person, can you please cover for me and meet up with this client of mine while I'm still stuck in the office? I can't seem to make it out on time. The second case scenario is, have I asked you a favor before? And that person, of course, is going to say, no, I haven't. Well, I need a favor from you. Can you please cover me while I'm taking care of some business in my office? I'm not going to be able to make it. Now, you see the case scenario. The first case scenario, it feels like you're obligated, and you're like you have to do something, and you don't have a say so in it, right? The second case scenario is where people say yes, simply because the way you approach the favors. Now, personally, when it comes to favors, I'm very, skeptical on what the favor is all about. So it just depends on what the favor is, because I know there's people that say, can you do me a favor, please? I know that really annoys me, because I don't know what direction, what the favor is going to be about. So here's the definition of obligation. And just think about the word obligation for a second, right? You feel like you have to do something that you don't want to do, right? But you got to be committed for whatever reason of what you commit to, right? So it's a bond. It holds you down, and there's no way of getting out of it because you're so committed and you have to fulfill the obligation, okay? So when we put these things together, the favor is something that, should be coming out of the act of what you do, kindness, right? So let's go for an example of favors. Favors, let's say I have a dinner engagement to get to with a top client that I need to get in touch with, right? So in my case scenario, this is the way I would, and we're going to take it two ways so you can understand it. The first case scenario is how I approach the person and going before me, because guess what? I can't make it to that client and see that client myself. So I send somebody. And this is the way I ask for a favor, okay? Hey, can you please go and be with this client, because I can't get out of the office at the moment. I'm stuck here. I can't do it. and this is the way I have no other choice. I have to stay here. That's the first case scenario. The second case scenario is, hey, would you mind, can you please, are you able to do me a favor? I'm going to be stuck in the office and I have no other choice but to get things done. Would you mind if you go to check out this client that I need to get taken care of? I would appreciate that. See the difference between the two favors? The first favor seems more of an obligation, like you have no other choice and you're stuck, and you're telling that person that you got to do it no matter what because I've done favors for you or whatever. Listen, people, we shouldn't feel like we're obligated to do anything, right? And that favor just becomes manipulated. That's just my version of it. And sometimes people don't understand the reason as to why we do it. It's just things that surround us that put subliminal things in our mind, in our heart, and therefore that's how it comes out. So we got to be careful when we do favors for people, or make sure it's not an obligation. That's why it feels kind of crazy and weird at the same time. Here's the last thing I'm going to share with you, and it's going to be found in Psalms chapter 5 verse 12. I'm going to read this off the screen. Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with the child. So here's the thing. God's going to protect you in every aspect of your life. Why? Because you're doing the right thing. When you do favors, you do it out of act of kindness, as I mentioned before. And when you do so, you're being protected by God and everything you do. Because why? You're a child of God. That's why. I want to thank everyone who's watching Motivation Inspired. And for those of you subscribed, thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please join me on my journey by hitting the subscribe button, hitting like, make sure you share. This is so important to me to grow this channel. If you're getting something out of this channel, please stop what you're doing. Make sure you follow me, because you're going to be left in the dark if you don't do so. So if this is important to you, please do follow me. We'll see you on the next video.